tune in for the Roman history series. Mr. Willis Wandere. I've started my lesson right now. Year 7's tuning in. We are looking at the history of the Romans, and so far we've done our 12th video. Today we are going to look at living in the Roman times. Living in the Roman times. How was life in the Roman times? That's a question we want to ask. We've been able to look at many things. We've looked at the political organizations of the Roman and looked how complex the system was. We looked at the army. We are able to look at the sections of the army. But the question today in this class, what was life like in the Roman epoch? What was life like in the Roman epoch? Living in the Roman times, what was life like? This is the question we want to address in this lesson today, year 7th. We want to look at how life was. And first of all, perhaps Augustus Caesar, the first emperor, just after Julius Caesar had been assassinated, played a vital role in ensuring that he laid the proper foundation for the Roman Empire. The first emperor played a very significant role in ensuring that Rome takes its place on the world stage. He started a building program and reconstruction of the Roman Empire, started a building program and reconstruction of the Roman Empire. So many buildings and structures were made during the era of Augustus Caesar. And he is going to boast that he came on the throne when Rome was a city of clay, but left when Rome was a city of marbles. Therefore, he is the one that modernized Rome and built more than 30 temples in the empire. So Augustus Caesar lays that role of laying a solid foundation for the Roman Empire, laying the basis, the foundation, a strong foundation for the Roman Empire. Augustus Caesar goes to the annals of history as the person that laid the firm foundation for the Roman Empire to be what it was. The next emperors are also going to play a very significant role in building the city of Rome. The city of Rome, magnificent buildings were built in Rome, and many people came to stare at these major buildings in the city of Rome. People talking about the Colosseum, the stadium, one of the biggest ones in the world at that particular time. People come and stare at it. People also came to look at the Emperor's Palace, a big one that was built in the capital city at that particular time. People also talk about the Circus Maximus, a very big oval stadium that could carry 200,000 spectators during that particular time. A city of wonders, Rome at that particular time. The basis, the solid basis laid by Augustus Caesar and the other emperors followed suit to make Rome a city of wonders. People will still come to the city to stare at some of the wonders of the world. We remember also Pompeii. Still today, some of these places still attract the tourist attraction. They are sites of tourist attraction. People still go and visit those places in Rome. And therefore, a solid, firm foundation laid by Augustus Caesar, followed suit by the rest of the emperors, made Rome to be a city of wonders. But the irony is that whereas Rome grew and expanded, there was a contrast between the life for the rich people and the poor people in the Roman times. That's the irony that was there. Whereas the rich lived in abundance and luxury, the poor lived very nasty, brutal life in slums. The rich during that particular time, given the title of the patricians, were the ones that enjoyed life during the Roman times. They had wealth. One will be talking about it. And then somebody will be talking about having big houses. We'll be discussing about the Roman villas, country houses, where the Romans had in the rural places or the countryside. They could go and perhaps run away from the bustle and hustle of the city life and go and relax in their villas. The Roman rich patricians will go to the countryside and relax there. They had private bath houses where they lived in the comfort of their houses. They did go to public toilets and therefore enjoyed a lot of privileges. Even politically, we realized that the office of the Senate was only reserved for the patricians during the Roman time. So it wasn't luxury for everybody. That is the irony that was there at that particular time. The rich enjoying a lot of privileges, living in luxury and comfort of their houses, enjoying enormously at that particular time. So it was sent normal life for everybody. The poor lived in cramped houses, mud houses, congested mostly, had no private toilets at that particular time, went to public toilets, and also went to the public bathhouses, something the poor, perhaps, the mob of the Roman times, what we call the mob of the Roman times, and therefore majority of the population, but having less privileges, less privileges at that particular time. So very important to contrast life between the rich and the poor in the Roman times, between the rich and the poor in the Roman times. Also, something perhaps important to look at. We are looking at living in the Roman times. How was life in the Roman times? How was life in the Roman times? Let's look at some social aspects. And one of them will be the bathhouses. Many Romans enjoyed going to the bathhouses, and these were public bathhouses where they could gossip and pick up the issues affecting the society at that particular time. So the bathhouses were very popular spots where friends would meet and discuss burning issues affecting them in life, burning issues affecting them in life. So the public bath places where the majority, the mob, went to have a daily bath and clean themselves at that particular time. A favorite spot for the gossips, a favorite spot for the gossips where the Romans will meet and socialize, with the Romans will meet and socialize in their daily endeavor. So the public bathhouses were also a significant event, especially when we are looking at the social life of the Roman times. And then something very interesting about the Romans, they had public toilets where people would go and relieve themselves at that particular time. Also, the mob didn't enjoy having private houses, and they did have even the toilet papers for the mobs that lived in Rome at that particular time. What was life in the Roman times? This is the question we are addressing in today's lesson. How was life in the Roman times? And perhaps let's look at some of the games, the entertainment. What did they do for entertainment? What did they do for entertainment? Very important. They had a lot of entertainment. The basic reason being perhaps to make the people not to revolt. There will be uprisings that will come. Therefore, to occupy the people, their mind, occupy the people, their mind, and therefore make them perhaps not be able to come up with uprising. Entertainment, part and parcel of the Roman people, part and parcel of the Roman people. So we have the stadiums, particularly where the events will take place, and we have already cited them. We have the Colosseum, and we have the Circus Maximus. Circus Maximus, one of the biggest stadium, an oval-shaped stadium where 200 spectators will sit in the stadium and watch some of the entertainment. And we want to look at some of the things the Roman did. And playing board games features significantly in some of the leisure activities the Roman did. When we were looking at the Roman army, we looked at that as being also a pastime by the army, the board games played by the soldiers, the Roman soldiers in the army, therefore coming up as being one of the favorite games, as being one of the favorite games. Swimming also comes in. People had perhaps to go and do that, mostly in some of the big rivers in the Roman times at that particular time. And then wrestling plays a very important part. We're going to have the gladiators, the slaves, who were people who could wrestle and fight even with animals. And that was a big spectacle during the Roman reigns. The gladiators, the slaves that will wrestle and fight among themselves, and also fight with the animals. Therefore, very popular at that time during the reigns of the Romans. We are also going to have boxing as one of the favorite sports, and basically boxing was done to make people to have the stamina and the fitness that was required at that particular time. So very important to remember that Romans also had the games which were very, very important at that particular time. We also had the chariot races that were very also important during the Roman times. The chariot, the track for the chariot was in the Circus Maximus, the biggest stadium in the Rome at that particular time, where the horses will go around and people cheering. That was a big spectacle during the Roman times. Therefore, the Romans had a social life that was extremely rich. The Romans had a social life that was extremely rich, and then in comparison with the political structure, you will see that life was very interesting in the Roman times. Life was very interesting in the Roman times. They did quite a lot. They did quite a lot in their social endeavors. Therefore, we have been able to have a glance at how life was in the Roman times. So we are finishing the lesson, but just a preview of the lesson we are going to do in the next series. We are going to look at the Roman houses, talk about the Roman villa and the houses in the countryside. Therefore, we are going to move a step ahead and be able to discuss the type of houses that were there during the Roman book. He has sermons all over the world doing the British curriculum, living through history, book one. Tune in, subscribe as we go over this book, living in the Roman, living through history, and particularly the first section, the Roman history. The first section, the Roman history, will be able to go through together and be able to get more good ideas as we are at home right now at the time of these live streaming in. I urge you, all of you, to tune in and be able to discuss with me the history of the Romans. This is the 13th video we are doing. And those of us that have not been able to catch up with the rest of the videos, subscribe to my channel and we'll be able to see all the videos from the first topic to topic number 13. This is what we are handling in class today. Therefore, I wish you the best as you do that. Welcome to this channel as we proceed on before schools open. We'll be able to have discussed the history of the Romans. We'll have discussed